All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Around the Block, which is Tron DAO's way to be continuously engaged with the community and bring value from around Web3 and blockchain and all of its tracks. Very exciting and special episode today. This is our Season 2 kickoff party of the TRON Grand Hackathon, and it begins today. And we have 4 special guests joining us. So we're here with Tobias, Simbad, Mo, and Maurice, who are all first place winners from each of our respective tracks of GameFi, DeFi, NFT, and Web3. And we're going to be talking to them a little bit about their experience during Season 1, what they expected and what they found to be the case, anything valuable they learned along the way, and just get into a bit of a chat about that in excitement and in preparation for the launch of Season 2. Before we do that, I have a couple of quick announcements just from the Tron DAO ecosystem and for the community, a couple things to just touch on. We're very excited to see that, first off, Season 2 has been revamped and built up and made better than Season 1 in several ways, so I'll get into those details in a moment. But first off, I want to mention primarily we have a $1 million prize pool this season. So it'll run for submissions for projects between today and July 25th at 5 p.m. Eastern will be the cutoff and the deadline for submissions. But anyone who submits during that period will have a shot at up to $1 million in prizes. So very exciting about that. Again, they can be submitted in one of our 4 tracks, so DeFi, GameFi, NFT, and Web3. And everyone will be building some interesting projects, and we have a lot of great partners and judges who will be on board supporting the hackathon and acting as judges and experts to see who will win for Season 2. Of course, in the NFT and in the different tracks, we have major partners and different things going on. And for NFT, it's Ape NFT that's our main track partner. Very excited about that and having their support. Also, another announcement that's good for the community to know, or any participants, we're supporting our DeFi track with our recently announced ecosystem fund. So we will also have new additional partners coming on board this season. This is not the total list. We have a lot of exciting names that will be released as we go. But we have Voxels, Binance Custody, Binance US, Velas, Anchor, and many more. So we're very proud of you guys joining us and bringing your expertise to the table and your experience. One quick note too, we're very excited and proud to once again share with the community the successful launch of USDD, our decentralized dollar, in the Tron-based stablecoin ecosystem. Tron's really happy to report that our approach to reserve management and risk control has put us in a very strong position. And in fact, the USDC on Tron has moved into the number 3 position overall in TVL recently. So just wanted to touch on that. Very exciting news for us. And we've also launched a brand new incentive campaign to basically encourage building within that ecosystem. So that's something that you can check our socials, our new website, which is launched as of this past weekend, which is trondao.org, TRONDAO.org. And you can look at /hackathon for more specific details on the hackathon and all this information there. Now, with Season 1 to Season 2, we have a couple exciting changes I want to highlight before we get into our discussion with each of our first place winners. And first off, one thing to note, in Season 1 we had forum participation. That will still exist in Season 2, but it's not going to be a necessary ingredient. It's an optional or additional ingredient. Team to team, they can decide if they wanted to do that. But if they do join the forum, they have the opportunity to win from a separate and additional $220,000 prize pool that's built into the monies that we are awarding to winning teams. We will have multiple prize structures. So this season it's going to be run with signups and distribution for the primary hackathon through DevPost, and we will have $760,000 in prizes through DevPost, and then the $220,000 for the Tron DAO forum separate, as well as 4 bonus prizes of $5,000 each. So for this hackathon, really unique, really cool. Everyone can win a prize, even if you're a non-coder. You can feel free to post some info for PR to socials or tweet things out, and you can potentially be eligible for one of the rewards that are taken from the $5,000 bonus pool of prizes. And you would basically have to be someone who didn't win another prize, but you don't have to be a hackathon builder or participating to launch a full-scale project. You can still support and actively be involved and have a chance for up to 10 individuals to win that $5,000, a minimum of $500 per person when we send those awards out. And another cool thing as far as what's happening with Season 2 is we're going to have participants that can submit their projects as early as they want, or through the entire period of May 16th through July 25th, but they'll be submitting complete projects that the judges and community members will be checking and judging for this season. So for more info, again, we're very excited about our brand new website. Our web dev teams and our marketing and community people have all contributed in different ways, and that is now live at trondao.org, and you can see the hackathon page specifically at /hackathon. Without further ado, and the reason we're here, which is to highlight and speak to each of our 4 first place winners from Season 1 about their experiences participating in and winning the first season of Tron's Grand Hackathon, we have, to start us off, Sinbad Marino in the Web3 track with DCloud. Now, I'm going to let Sinbad introduce himself and the team a little more clearly and talk to you about what they're doing. But an overall sort of point of view on DCloud, they're creating an open source Web3 cloud storage mobile app that is enabling its own ecosystem to enjoy a self-sustainable and shared economy. And it separates DCloud from a lot of things that are happening elsewhere. They're very unique. It's a very cool project, and I think that's a big part of the reason they won is what they have going on. So without further ado, Sinbad, if you could introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about the team and what you guys have cooking, and we'll start off with your Season 1 experience and how that went.
Hello, Frank. Hello, everyone. Hello, the Tron community, BitTorrent community. This is Sinbad Marino. Well, first of all, I would like to start with the progress. Since the beginning, we wanted to build the app, a real app, not just a website. Because most of the D apps right now, it's depending on the server, and the basic idea behind Web3, which in my opinion is what we should pursue with Web3, is to depend the least on servers, on big companies, on those big data centers and stuff like that. So the main idea came from the community. The BitTorrent community was asking for a mobile app or something that could ease the BTFS ramp up for everyone, even the non-technical people, because BTFS right now is not so user-friendly for the common people. So DCloud born on the community, and we want to keep doing that. And in order to do that, I'm trying to push DCloud to be open source forever.
Very cool.
What does it mean? Okay, the code is open for everyone. Everyone can take the code and develop whatever application they want. If they don't like the colors of DCloud, or if they just want to change the name or whatever, can work on that, right? So the philosophy of DCloud is to push BitTorrent and Tron ecosystem further and make it more user-friendly. And
awesome.
Basically, to give the people the opportunity to store and also earn BTT by storing files. I mean, as a renter, you are paying BTT for storage for different nodes, and also you will have the possibility to earn BTT using your phone. And that's the main idea. Any Android phone and now iOS, that's a big that was a big challenge for DCloud on this hackathon. Fortunately, we managed to have right now a pre-version or pre-release version of iOS, and we are proud to announce that it's running right now on iOS, a pretty basic version of BTFS, but it's running. spending to integrate the graphical interface with the BTFS node, but we are very excited and very thankful with Tron DAO and BitTorrent for this opportunity. Basically, it's mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing for the team and for me, of course.
Absolutely.
This price and we keep moving. What motivates us to keep working is basically sharing, giving back to community, giving back to people. Because every time we use phones, applications, most of them are free. So the main idea behind DCloud is to give back to every person there that has been contributing to Web3, blockchain, and all this awesome ecosystem.
Awesome. So can you talk to me a little bit about your experience going into season 1 as a team and what you might have thought was going to happen and what actually happened? Obviously, you emerged as one of the first place winners for Web3. Very exciting. I'm just curious, for anyone listening who is interested in maybe joining the hackathon as a project, or they're a developer listening, can you just touch on your experience for season 1?
Sure. Yeah. It was kind of funny because, sometimes you may think that, okay, it's impossible. Of course, I cannot do it. It's all on your head. You have to first establish yourself as someone, do something positive for the ecosystem. And as long as you have passion for any of the tracks, Web3, NFTs, GameFi, DeFi, you're gonna make it. You have to be passionate about it, not just looking for money. That I believe that's not the right answer in the space. I think you should be motivated by what you're building, your ideas, your everything behind this new technology, and that's key. And also believe in yourself, in your team, and your passion. And that's the main, the most important thing I would suggest to everyone wanting to join.
Yeah, I think that's
hackathon. Just focus on your passion. And yes.
Excellent advice. I think that we're at a point where we can see a lot of the people who are building long-term have that passion and a big picture in mind. They're thinking of the UI and the experience for people coming into their, DApp or whatever it is that they may be building in their track. And they have the right pieces put together for a long-term approach. I think each of you guys have teams that have exemplified all those qualities, and it's important for anyone new who's building to keep in mind. I would be curious to get your thoughts on the state of Web3, from your perspective.
Yeah, of course, Frank. Well, my view is that it's very tied to what we're building with DCloud, because basically we are moving from a very centralized internet to a decentralized one. What I mean is to give back power to the people, give back power to everyone who wants to contribute, who wants to be involved in the ecosystem, not just a couple big names like Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So we are trying to give back the power to people. The power means whatever, the financial power, the infrastructure power. Every phone right now has much bigger capabilities than 10 years before. So right now we're in a good position to more focus.
We're breaking up just a little bit on your signal, Sinbad.
And are powerful enough to carry on.
Okay. Well, hopefully everyone's able to hear most of that. We broke up a little bit on the signal. That happens with some of these live tech pieces, but can you hear me okay, Sinbad?
A specific task or...
There we go.
Hello, Frank?
Yep, we're good. I can hear you now. It was breaking up for a moment on my end, but I can hear you clear. So.
Not sure if you can. In summary, it's just to give back power to people instead of just big entities.
Awesome. And you think the current energy in Web3 is supporting that from your perspective? I would imagine that's why you're aligning with that. other than just a natural alignment, of course, too. Cool. So what does it mean, beyond that for when you're building and you're talking about other people in your tracker space that are building projects from a startup point of view? They're bootstrapping, they're raising money, whatever the case may be, smaller team, larger team, and they're looking at, events like TRON DAO's hackathon, say season 2. Maybe they're considering submitting and they're on the fence. What would you say to someone who's in that position and they're just unsure? I know we touched on confidence and being there for the right reasons and making sure you're passionate and excited. But if there was someone who maybe has a great idea, but they're just still on the fence, what would you say to them?
Work hard, surround with passionate people with similar ideas than yourself, surround with supporting people, family, friends, or people even here in this space, because it's sometimes it's hard to get people in real life that are passionate about blockchain, GameFi, Web3. Most of them don't understand, so sometimes you get frustrated. But the main idea is to get pushed by the community, get involved, and also work hard. This is the most important one. You have to work super, super hard. It's not like the prizes or whatever, it won't get from the sky. So you really need to push hard, and that's it. Just work hard.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's a key to a lot of success is iterating over time, which requires a lot of work, right? Without the work, it won't get done. So I appreciate you sharing that. As a final wrap up from your point of view with DCloud, is there anything related to major milestones recently, or anything you'd want to touch on with where you guys currently are? And second part of that question, are you planning to participate in season 2 of the Grand Hackathon?
Yeah, sure. The current state of DCloud, we are almost done with the UI. And also currently with the integration of iOS. In the past, we only had Android available, but right now we are working to integrate it on iOS as well. And as soon as we finalize this part, this is the last part of the hackathon, the last milestone, to have the graphical interface ready, and also the iOS application done. After that, the next step is to move into Google Play and also Apple Store. That will be the next step. And regarding the question, that's something I have been asking myself the last weekend, and I'm thinking about it. I cannot say for granted that yes, I'm joining the second round. I need to prioritize some stuff, because this has been like 2 or 3 months of intense work to get everything done for DCloud on season 1, sorry. And I really need to think about season 2. But for sure, I will announce.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that. It's definitely a lot
the
of
outcome of this soon.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hard work that goes into this, and time management and prioritizing how much you take on, I'm sure, has a lot to do with, your day-to-day and looking down the road. But you have some time if you do decide. We'd be excited to see what you guys bring to the table. Again, until now through, almost the end of June, you'd have some time to submit if you were looking to do that. But thank you for being here to share a little insights with people watching and who are following the hackathon as projects develop. As well as potentially or actually participating in season 2. So again, Sinbad with DCloud, I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to move over next to Mo Koss with Tron Ninjas, and he's representing himself and the team who were the first place winners in the GameFi track for season 1. Mo, how's it going? You want to give a quick introduction on the GameFi platform that is Tron Ninjas?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, Frank. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of Tron Ninjas. There are six of us who started this. We started it out of a love for two things mainly. One for retro gaming and two for blockchain and specifically Tron. We wanted to make a difference to the network that we've been with for many years and also we wanted to take our passion onto the blockchain because we feel the future of GameFi is very interesting and there's a lot of scope for the industry. So we all met on Tron and there was a sense of community there that brought us together, and that's what we're trying to encapsulate with our product. Down the line, we've got further plans to grow into what we hope to be a mini metaverse. With it's a long way off, and at the moment we're currently not in the position to do that. But that's the goal, and we want to encapsulate that sense of community that we've found together on Tron. Me myself, I'll say a little bit about myself. I'm a software developer. I've been writing code for over 10 years. My career has taken me from sales industry to healthcare and more recently the fintech, specifically working with web applications with sort of high availability and concurrent users. I've got a passion for process automation. So those sort of things combined, the next logical step is decentralization and autonomy, which is something I'm really passionate about. So hence why we've sort of married the two things together here on Tron with what we're building.
Very cool. Yeah, and I know that for Tron Ninjas is basically you can use your NFTs as characters in game, correct? And you can actually earn tokens. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah. So at the moment, we are working towards being able to use your character in the games. It's not currently possible, but that is what we're working towards. We've got an arcade which features four games at the moment. 5 games. We've recently released one with the hackathon, and when you play the games, you can earn TNT depending on how many points you get. So it depends on your level of skill, and then you've got this TNT. What can you do with it? You can spend it in the item store, which gives you upgrades when you're playing the games, which really come in useful for the bi-weekly tournaments that we host, because we have like e-sporting events where everyone can come together and we can win prizes. They're completely free to enter. It's just about getting people together to play games and socialize and come together for the passion of gaming, I suppose.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, realistically, I'm a big GameFi fan myself, just because it dawned on me. If you play games, you spend a lot of money on in-game purchases, but they're not really yours. It's a sunk cost. So just the innovation that blockchain brings to the gaming industry is just really cool. Once people realize this thing can be mine forever, maybe I can sell it and recoup some value, or maybe even see some return compared to what I invested in this asset for the game. And that's a very simple thing to understand. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. So it's very cool.
It's going to revolutionise the gaming industry. I mean, the gaming industry is what it says, $80+ billion industry. And a lot of people spend a lot of time, like you say, working and building on their characters and collecting their items, and then they get stuck in this one realm. Whereas I believe over time we're going to see a lot of sort of interoperability between different games on chains. So if you consider the fact that Tron are creating a bridge onto other chains, I'm sure people will come together and start to allow users to integrate different items into different games, which is where the real power of it begins. Because if you start to have sort of isolated areas, then you'll go back to how it currently is at the moment. But the blockchain aspect of it sort of opens up the possibilities for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that definitely gives us a sense of one of the questions I was leaning toward, which was your sense of the state of GameFi. But I can tell you're excited about it and what the future will bring. A lot of passion there. Seems to be a theme that runs team to team for what they're doing. So that's cool to actually see it being demonstrated. I'm wondering if you can give a few comments on your Season 1 experience. So again, sort of like I asked Sinbad, and we'll be asking everyone, you came into this, you had some goals, and you aligned yourselves to reach those goals and obviously did really well, coming out as one of the first place winners for GameFi. But I'm curious for the team and from your perspective, what kind of value did that experience bring for you guys? Were there any challenges? Any words on your experience through season one?
Yeah, it was. We were blown away by the fact that we won. We never expected to, really, because we were here and we were building our product and we had our idea and it was going slow and it's difficult getting started up. And we entered the hackathon. We had no expectations of winning. We just thought we'll submit what we can do and we'll do our best to achieve those goals. And the response from the community was phenomenal. We were blown away. It was just a lot of people were excited about what we were doing, and it was nice to see that because we didn't realize how excited people were, and when we won that was just. It's allowed us to move forward at a quicker pace. It's given us the resources we need to move on to the next stage, and we're just over the moon about it. We never expected to win. We really didn't.
Well, I love to see the passion and excitement and happiness that came out of that experience. It's been really great for me, working in the marketing and, community feels with Tron DAO's communities to see a lot of that sentiment all over the place. Really feels like the community has a voice that's heard amongst each other and togetherness that is helping to get things done. And it's motivating and it breeds energy, really.
100%. Even the people that we met who were in different tracks, who had different products and placed, first to third place. We ended up creating relationships with those and integrating what we do with them. And it was a great networking event as well as a funding event for what we're trying to achieve. So it was fantastic. The experience was overall really positive.
Awesome, Mo. Well, I'm glad that that's the sentiment, and I'm just curious too, when it comes to what motivates you and the team to build every day, and any advice you'd give to participants that are either in or looking to participate in this hackathon season 2, what would you have to say?
So what motivates us as a team is obviously Tron is our passion, and we've all got a passion for blockchain because of what we believe the future of the web is going to be. Like going back to the sort of autonomous way of applications running, we really feel that's the future, and we want to be at the forefront of that change. We want to be the change, so that's what gets us up in the morning. I'm sorry, what was your next question?
Just, beyond what motivates you to build, how would you translate that into any advice for anyone currently in or who's going to be participating or considering season 2 of the hackathon?
Yeah, I would say do not be deterred or put off. The only thing stopping you is yourself. If you've got a great idea and you've got achievable goals, I would definitely submit your ideas and come forward. It's, like I say, we never expected to win. We're just passionate about what we do. So if you are passionate and you're driven and you've got an idea which you think's great, put it out there, and you'll see that maybe other people think it's great as well, and that could help catapult your project.
Sometimes it could
definitely don't hold back. I'll definitely go for it.
Might just be as simple as that. Just get it done and see. That's sometimes the missing ingredient when everyone's putting charts and trying to draw lines and make paths. It's kind of like back to what Sinbad said about hard work and what you're saying about just delivering and getting it done and seeing the result, how the market reacts. It's an opportunity if you act. I think that's great advice.
Yeah, and getting that feedback as well it does wonders for your team and for what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. Last question for you before we move over to Maurice. Any major milestones or updates from the Tron Ninjas team that you'd want to share with the community?
Yeah, so we've just released our last milestone, which was prior to this, the way the payments were made from the Tron Ninjas application were directly from a wallet, but now those are sent to a smart contract, and the smart contract owns the supply of TNT. So every time a user plays and their points are totaled up, it's then added as a reward to the smart contract where they can save it up or extract it as and when they want to. That was our last milestone, and we submitted that yesterday, and we're really excited about the future. So that's a milestone update. Going into the season 2, it's something we are definitely going to do. We're sticking around here on Tron for for the foreseeable, and we're going to continue to build out our current application capabilities. And not only that, we've got a couple of other projects that we are going to work towards as well, because we really want to help grow with Tron, and we feel that there are some things that are really necessary and needed in this space. So just look out for those. Stay tuned, and you'll see us in season 2.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's exciting, and thanks for sharing that little bit of vision down the road. I mean, obviously, you guys are all working hard, and we'll have to keep posted to the socials, and everyone can keep posted to Tron DAO's socials as well. We'll have information as things progress. So, be excited to see if you guys are participating, how that goes, and what you come up with, what you're cooking. So, thank you.
I just wanted to take this opportunity while we've got a moment to thank everybody who voted for us in the first one. I mean, our product without our community is nothing, and we've got a very strong community, and we thank them deeply for voting for us. So thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Community is everything in this space. I think the people who are following a project from its early days and who are long-term believers in that core group of fans and users, they make a world of difference in the long run. So I'm sure everyone appreciates the sentiment. Yeah. I'm going to move over now to Maurice Deuce. Maurice is with Versace Brick Squad and Touro Global. They work in the real estate space in the NFT track and won first place during season 1. So I'll let Maurice talk a little bit about some of their involvement with DAOs and real estate and what they do. It's very unique and very interesting. Maurice, if you'd like to introduce yourself and the project a little bit. I believe you're muted at the moment, Maurice.
Yeah, so I'm Morris. I'm one of the founders of Touro Global. Actually, we created Touro out of Tron Network Store, which was our first project. And when we were running Tron Network Store, we decided to increase the scope of our services, and we created Touro, where first we went into the NFT range with our Baby Touro NFTs, which is a kind of a DeFi related NFT, but we always had the ambition, and actually the ambition for Versace Brick Squad was created because of a funny story in our group chat. So we have a relatively big group of 21 people in our core team. Originally, the intention was to have like a small group of founders and then some advisors in the background to give some strategic advice. But all advisors became very involved with the project, and the power of the team grew because of the involvement of the advisory group. And there was a funny story about one of our guys who had a father who ordered a camera from Italy, and instead of a camera, he got a brick in his post instead of a camera.
Wow! And
this was the father of Versace, Money Versace, one of our team members. So then we came up with the funny name Versace Brick Squad. And when we came up with the name, we didn't have a project behind it yet. But when we thought about Versace Brick Squad, we knew it had to do something with real estate. So it was the name first and the project later, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, very interesting.
And then actually we started to investigate. We had some chats with lawyers. We checked the European real estate market. And we came up with the idea, let's go into the real estate. It's nicely matching with the name, which we think is a funny name. We love to have fun in our group. And and then actually the hackathon came along, and we thought, well, that's the push we need. This is the project we will publish.
Yeah.
And we will try to win the hackathon. And that's kind of how it all started. And it has been let's say an intense journey so far, but very enjoyable.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I did not know the story about the name coming first and, things being built after, and especially how unique the story is to get the name. So very cool. And also, I just love that obviously it's a lot of work for anything you're doing in this industry. It's a lot of work and it's constantly changing. But the fact that you balance it by keeping it lighthearted and fun like that, and you guys prioritize having a good time too, pretty cool energy on the team. Yeah, especially a larger team like that. So I would be interested to hear just some of your comments on participating in season 1, as far as when you came into it, went through it, and how things went, and did they meet expectations? Were there any surprises or anything of value that you didn't expect? Just a couple comments on your season 1 experience.
Yeah, actually, it was much better than expected, I should say, because a long time ago we joined another hackathon. We are around for quite a long time, so we joined as Tron Network Store before, and that was not the most, let's say, engaged experience. Okay. So we were kind of skeptic when we joined this hackathon, but the experience was totally different. We had a good engagement with the Tron Live team, and actually from the start it was clear with the Tron DAO forum, where you could put your project, and where you had engagement with the community, where you saw interaction, where you saw interest. It was a great experience, and it kind of boosted up the morale of our whole team to see that Tron, when it became Tron DAO, is really starting to engage with the projects on the blockchain, and that was actually great. So very positive experience, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear, and it's a major goal right now as far as Tron DAO reaching and engaging with the community at large, and especially those building on it, and those that are participating in our hackathon. So I think that experience justified the skepticism. Clearly, you're a logical person as well, I can tell. But at the same time, I'm glad you were very pleasantly surprised, and I think that season 2 will leave people even more pleasantly surprised with the way things are set up. We put a lot of work into making things easy and technologically accurate and great as far as the way we're delivering all the value to teams throughout this experience. So that's just a testament to that fact, and hopefully we'll continue to hear that it just keeps getting better. So when it comes to, your thoughts on the current state of NFT, and I guess specifically related to the real estate market, since that's your expertise, could you give a couple comments on that?
Well, we are kind of active in the NFT market in several blockchain projects, so not only in Tron. In our big team, we have we have some people who are very NFT minded, who are really buying a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of us got very hit in Tron when you got all these copycat projects which had huge minting amounts, and everybody was scooping up the NFTs. And in the end, most of these projects kind of, vanished, disappeared, and left. And what we see, and what we see in other chains as well, if you have an NFT project which doesn't have any utility behind, you need to have a very strong community in order to make it successful. So the only way to make an NFT project successful is by having utility behind. And we did that with Baby Touro to connect it to our BBT MEN token. And now with Versace Brick Squad, owning a piece of real estate is a real utility. Yeah. And I think that's the future of NFTs. And you can see that the Tron community is very skeptic. NFT sales are not really going through the roof. The general NFT market is down as well. So I think the only way to get through is to offer NFTs with utilities, and just wait until the market recovers, show that there are good projects out there. And I think with all the great projects on Tron and the cooperation which we have, I think the users are coming back. And when the users come back, then the NFT market will grow as well if you have good products on the chain.
Well, that's a great point. Markets obviously are cyclical in nature. We all know that. But also, the products and the experience you build, as well as you said, like in the NFT vertical, that utility piece. I know we just launched our Ape NFT marketplace, which is very UI friendly and has verified collections and a process to submit for verification. That's a major step in making sure, those copycats that maybe aren't the most favorable project are, easier to distinguish, because something verified obviously would come with a little more, understanding of exactly who the team is or what the project is. And those that have utility built into their NFTs, as you mentioned, I agree. I think long term they'll be the winners. I'm actually in Gary Vaynerchuk's NFT community. That's something I've been in from the start when he minted. And I like a lot of what he speaks on about community, about the hard work and the fact that you have to just be available and put that in and communicate. And then also on the side, it echoes your thoughts on utility, right? The technology of blockchain paired with the standard for NFTs can deliver so much value. I mean, you're just getting started with real estate and what you can do there. And clearly you've got a couple cool things going on, including, I believe you have your first property that one of our own blockchain advisors, Laurent Perello, I believe he toured that with you in Budapest. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I think 2 weeks ago we signed the contract of purchase for our first property. And Laurent, he was in Budapest, and it's a short drive for me to get there. So we agreed that I would pick him up, and I toured him through the real estate development area. And he was super enthusiastic. So that was a great confirmation that we are doing the right thing here. And so very soon we will start selling the brick NFTs. So the smart contract is being developed right now, and when that is finished, that's kind of the last milestone in our hackathon milestone list. And then the sales will start, and depending on the speed of the sales, we will expand our portfolio and just keep it going.
Very cool. Yeah, I guess those would be your major updates at this point. That's a lot going on. And I know Laurent did express his enthusiasm to me as well when I asked him about this. He told me that the location and property was very cool, and what you guys were doing when he talked to you on the technology and integration side with that utility to be able to, invest in something like that with something like an NFT or driven through, the technology is really exciting. So he definitely echoed the same sentiment you're describing about that visit. So we're excited to see future properties and what you guys will be doing down the road for sure. I'm curious, are you going to be joining season 2 of Tron's Grand Hackathon? Is that something that is in the works for Touro Global and the team?
I would say yes, for sure.
Okay,
so
cool.
We plan to kind of connect the dots. So as Touro, we have a lot of projects running in parallel, and we will participate in the hackathon too, with our new project called Turofi. And Turofi is kind of connecting the dots between the projects which we have running, and actually opening a window through Tron, for example, for people to invest in other blockchains and stake in other blockchains through a portal which we will develop, making it possible for people to invest in Tron, using Tron, invest in real estate, invest in other tokens, have staking in other tokens without leaving the Tron ecosystem. And that's the platform we are working on for the hackathon too.
Well, just like everyone else we've spoken to, the advancements and the aims and the road ahead looks very exciting. I think that's a good point, during the midst of all this conversation for any developer or team who's listening into this. We have tools for, getting things that are cross-chain compatible or, some interoperability between the BTTC and our ecosystem and what it offers. It's expanding and it's very robust, and we're only growing day by day. So I think teams like yours are taking advantage of some of those tools and building your own to then basically take it to the next level. And that's really exciting. It's part of what makes my day-to-day great, because I get to check in and see some of these things and very, very cool stuff being built. So I really appreciate you sharing that. We definitely look forward to seeing you guys for season 2 and, seeing how things will go. And we're going to move over to Tobias.
Can I have one more final thought? Sorry, Frank.
Sure.
I just wanted to point out that besides the improvement what we see with Tron DAO coming inside, we can also see, and I think that's something which should be spoken out loud, that if you look back at Tron 3 years ago, there were a lot of projects on Tron, and they were like single entities who were very competitive with each other, and there was no real good cooperation. But what we see now, and we could see that through the hackathon as well, that all these new projects popping up, like Tron Ninjas, like JustMoney, like ourselves, there is a real attitude to cooperate and So some of our solutions have been built by JustMoney. We had good cooperation with Tron Ninjas. We have cooperation with a lot of projects. And that's something which was not in Tron, like, say, 3 years ago. But in the last year, we really see these types of cooperation. And I think that's a great thing. And that will really help. Because as projects, we need to work together to get the name Tron out there and to show that we are a united front to bring new users to the blockchain. And that's what I want to share as a
I appreciate that, and I totally agree. And it's been really, it's a thought I've had myself when I work with different teams and talk to the community, and I see things and sentiment on social and different things happening. It's a shift. There is a shift that has been occurring since Tron has become a DAO and leaned a lot of resources toward the community and those developers and teams building on chain. And it's not only an internal shift within the Tron ecosystem from our end, but also the communities and the builders. That's something that, you know, pretty much all of you have talked to me about, is the fact that now things feel more like a team of people within an ecosystem and within a community. And there's a lot of support and help from all different angles. In my opinion, that's the reason a lot of people are here. That's one of the promise of blockchain technology, is to bring things to people that otherwise didn't have them, and support, and whether it's, you know, DeFi, NFT, GameFi, or Web3 related, everyone's building in that direction. So it's a nice confirmation to hear that, and I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to move over to our fourth first place winner from the DeFi category, Tobias Silver, who's representing JustMoney.io. They are looking to build an ecosystem really for the next generation of decentralized applications. And he's going to talk a little bit about that and what they do. Tobias, if you can introduce yourself and JustMoney a little bit and just share with us what you guys have going on today.
Yes, thank you, Frank, and thanks for inviting to this call.
Yeah.
Also, thanks everyone who's watching this, and specifically, I would like to thank everyone who voted us during the hackathon. So it was nice to see how many people actually were there and voting for us on this space. And thanks for that. We wouldn't be here otherwise.
Absolutely.
So I'm Toby. I'm one of the founders of JustMoney, and so JustMoney is a project that builds products mostly for DeFi space, also Web3 space, and our goal is to build them for regular users. So the products that would be simple to use and look good and generically like serve its main purpose. So that's basically our goal, because we think. At the moment, most of the projects or like products are just too hard to use in this space. So we kind of want to change that part. We're a team of 8. Basically, every member has its own role. We have like a graphic designer, the Solidity engineer, the web front-end engineer and like a full stack. Then we have the people for marketing, etc. So I love our team, and thanks, by the way, for the team. If you are listening, you have been doing great job, and I love our whole team spirit with it.
Yeah.
So well, about JustMoney, I think we have like positioned ourselves to be sort of a hub for other projects to be in. So basically, we launched their tokens. Well, for some we do, for some not, but we can launch their tokens. For example, Maurice here, we launched the Baby Touro token for them in our launchpad. And then we are normally stay with them during their whole journey. And how we do it, we try to give all the tools for them to make their life easier, so they can only focus on their own business, and then we can provide them all the tools to basically have their token sales, and also for the community, let's say Telegram chats, we have the tools to have the charting, the pricing, all this kind of stuff that the projects would have to themselves do for their community anyway, but they don't have to do it with us because we can provide all these things.
Very cool. Yeah.
So basically, if I tell a few products that are currently in our ecosystem, it's the Launchpad. So it's not IDO Launchpad, it's an AAM Launchpad. What it means is we actually have a fair launch on our swap, but it comes with a timer. So there's a countdown timer at the beginning, and when that goes to 0, everyone has ability to buy the token at the same time.
Okay.
So after that, the project moves to JustMoney.exchange, which is a multi-chain swap, basically a DEX. We are connected at the moment to Tron, BitTorrent chain, BNB chain, Polygon, and Zenith. And later on, we hope we will get more chains connected there. We think like interoperability is the key to go, and that's the future.
Absolutely.
So recently we also finished our bridge, so now we can actually move funds between the chains as well. We have our JM token there, and also we added the baby Touro token there as well, and we will be adding the Touro token there most likely next week. So we will be adding more tokens there, and this is a really important piece of the whole ecosystem, because this also gives us ability to actually bring other projects from other chains to expand on Tron. So this is a win-win situation for everyone, and especially for Tron, because then those other projects can really easy way bring their token into Tron as well, and have it bridged over, and they can run their business on Tron as well.
Very cool.
Then
yeah.
we have a JustMoney.gift. It's like a crypto gift platform, and it's also utilizing our swap as a kind of foundation there behind. So you can actually choose what token you want to give to someone as a gift, and it will convert it automatically from either BNB or Tron or etc.
Very interesting. Yeah, you guys have a lot going on, it seems, just like everyone here. And I think I hear a lot of the same sentiments being echoed on hard work and the curiosity and the passion for what you're doing, but also both for users and projects that are also developing. It seems simplifying things and making tools available that make the experience easy to deploy and easy to use is right up the JustMoney alley, and that's pretty cool because that's what's needed. Realistically, probably most of us here can get into many swaps or DeFi protocols and figure it out, but that doesn't mean everyone sitting around the world can. And so same thing with people with great ideas looking to deploy. Maybe they can utilize some of the help of your protocol and your assets that you have that can help teams that are deploying. So I always like to, just reemphasize that fact, because that ease of use, ease to build, those are all important factors in how the whole basically industry and ecosystem develops over the next couple of years. And it's good to hear that you're providing those things. Would you be?
We actually help with the tokens as well. So for several projects we have actually provided the token code for them to deploy. So we kind of work hand in hand with the project, because we know it's a win-win. If they list to our swap, it's volume for us. So we should help them in all ways possible, and we do all the announcements when they list. So we would say we are a little bit like we are a DEX, but at the same time we work a little bit like centralized way in terms of the announcements and listings. Like
Gotcha.
every project is actually there in the drop-down list. We do the announcement when the project list, etc. Not like in many other swaps that they just listed themselves there, and then it's all their job to actually spread it.
Gotcha. You
So,
have a lot of support going on from both fronts, it sounds like. Yeah. Very cool. And Tobias, I'm curious, could you give me your thoughts on season one as far as, the team entered and maybe wasn't sure what to expect? What were your thoughts going in and throughout and, emerging from that experience as our first place winner in the DeFi track?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect because this was it was a first hackathon for us, and also I think previously it has been a little bit hard to get in touch with the right people, etc. And now I realized like Tron is actually going to really good direction, and it was really nice to see, especially what the winning brought. Like we are constantly in touch with Tron DAO's team. They are also introducing us to other parties, like they are opening some door for us, etc. So actually it went pretty. The whole journey was pretty nice, and everything worked really well. So
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, that's, what we love to hear. And I've been enjoying hearing that from you guys as well as other teams. Obviously, we had places 1 through 5. So anything we can do to continue to support our teams that are building and people within the community and the ecosystem, we're all ears. We work really hard at it every day. So I'm glad that that's provided some value to you guys all. And I mean,
yeah, and I would like to say like one thing, like in a way for Tron or for any chain, it's basically like if you think about a mobile operating system like Android or iOS, that the actual operating system is nothing without the content there. So let's say all the apps and the marketplace that it has, it's similar in these chains. There are shit tons of chains opening all the time, but the key thing is, I think it's what is there, all the projects, the whole ecosystem, the community behind it. So this is something what is important, and that's why I'm happy that to see these hackathons coming, because this will grow the chain as well, because we need to all work together to bring quality projects on Tron to actually grow this, and we have to all work together on that same goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the key.
It is. That's a big piece of the puzzle and the reason we're supporting quality projects that the community and our team of experts, panel of partners deem to be high quality and producing, an experience and a product and an end result for users that is going to bring value. End of the day, that's the bottom line for, what will help move everything forward in the right direction. And I totally agree, and I'm glad you're seeing that. We're going to continue to strive toward that goal, every day. And we take the feedback of teams like yourselves into consideration. So as we move through season 2 of the hackathon, that'll be something that'll be amplified by having new sets of winners and people to speak to and feedback to get. And while everyone is iterating their product and their projects, we're iterating our process for all of this. So I'm glad that that's been the experience. I'm curious, when it comes to, anyone who may be considering signing up for the hackathon and getting going with a project, from your perspective, working on this as a developer and a leader within the JustMoney team, what would your advice be to them?
I think simply just go for it. I think Tron is still a less competed space in terms of the quality projects, and it needs quality projects. Like the chances, I would say, of winning is a lot easier than, for example, on some chains where there are thousands of contestants there. So it might be like for somebody, for a developer, it might be like they might think like, oh, it's really hard to win, But the thing is, I think this is a good time to be actually building on Tron.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Tron is kind of I would say, a bit sleeping giant, that it still hasn't like released its all power, and they're just like it just needs a lot of more, I think, quality projects, and that will make it fly. And I just think like just go for it, and then in terms of the delivering, etc., I think like try to take one thing and try to focus on that one thing. So don't try to do a bit of everything, but rather focus on that one thing and do it well.
Okay.
And that's where I feel that success will come. I know we did actually a lot of things there for hackathon. We listed quite many things, but the main thing was still the bridge. But I would even put a lot, like I would still focus maybe next time on just one or two things.
That's good advice. Yeah, to go deeper rather than wider. Yeah, focus on your lane for something like this. That's something to keep in mind. And I do, appreciate you sharing that, because all four of you have the experience to share. I'm sure there are plenty of people that are just newly excited by the technology. We can all probably remember that moment for each of us. And looking at what can I create in this space, and they kind of have that little honeymoon phase of excitement going on, but then the nerves build up a little bit. So to hear from what would be some veterans and some winners like you guys is really valuable to the community, and to that part of the community in particular. I would like to ask, we touched on some of the milestones and everything you were doing, the swap and the way you're operating and supporting the ecosystem as well as the industry. When it comes to Hackathon Season 2, is the JustMoney team going to be participating? Is this a breather season for you? What's the status there?
Yes, we will participate. I will not say yet with what products we will be participating with, but yes, we will participate there.
Exciting. Yeah, no need to share anything more than you want to, of course.
But basically, just in a short way, I can say it will be something where we will make easier for people to actually come to Tron side from other chains, but also from Tron to other chains. So it's something like a kind of like an onboarding thing for people. Well, that would be one of the things.
That sounds very exciting. And to your point, knowing that lane and focusing on it, I'm sure you'll have plenty to do within that sphere. So we're excited to see what comes out of those thoughts and that hard work. I do want to take a moment again just to thank all four of you, our first place winners from each of our four tracks. So Sinbad, Mo, Maurice, and Tobias, thank you so much for being on this special episode. I'll open it up for a few minutes before we conclude with just any additional thoughts or comments that any of you want to discuss with each other, or in general based on Season 2 or building within these tracks, anything you'd want to say to the community. And if you have any thoughts, you can share them. If not, we'll get ready to wrap up. But it's been a great time talking to all four of you.
Thanks for having us. It's been good.
All right.
I'm really interested to know what JustMoney are bringing out now. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I like the way that you've kept it a little bit secret, and now everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of my seat a little bit. Like, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I like keeping your cards close to your chest.
Announcement of announcement.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I definitely. Go ahead, Mo.
That's because I think it's an absolutely fantastic time to be on Tron, and I think the future is going to be fantastic. It's going to be really big.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any other final comments from anyone?
Work hard, have fun. These are the two.
That's it.
Key things.
Work hard.
Maurice.
Great. Work hard, have fun. That'll be our theme going into Season 2, everybody. You heard it right here first from the first place winners from each track. Work hard, have fun, keep smiling. And just to wrap up again, we are very, very excited about the launch of our new website, trondao.org, TRONDAO.org. And at /hackathon, after that, you can read all the details on the hackathon. We have Season 2 that kicked off officially today. and this is going to run through June 25th, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can submit your projects and be potentially considered toward winning a part of $1 million prize pool. So that's pretty substantial, and I think that there was a tiny bit of alpha related to the hackathon shared here. I mean, we had some comments about how maybe it's a great time to be building within Tron and participating in something like this because the competition isn't 10x like it could be found in certain other places. So maybe some ears will perk up. We've got great support from the community and within the team. And we're just very happy to work with teams that are building. So if you have an idea and you want to, put a little pressure on yourself to get it to the next level, I would suggest signing up. You can check our website out and go to the sign up link on DevPost and have some fun and work hard. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I wish you good luck with all your projects in the near future, and I will talk to you again soon. All right. Everybody take care, and thanks again. This has been Around the Block.
Thank you, Frank.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, everyone. Bye.